Hey guys, what's going on? It's a Blockbull right about now, bringing you the latest episode to the channel. Now today I thought I would shoot a video seeing as we are going into the weekend, because gold is at all-time highs today. We've also had in the past 24 hours as well, Grayscale announce the XRP trust fund as well, so XRP is making headwind as well. We also have ADA in the spotlight because the hard fork for Cardano, ADA, also known as the Chang hard fork, went live earlier on in this month. So this is massive news for ADA. Now, the reason why I'm picking up this news here from a couple of weeks ago is because I believe ADA could potentially front run the whole of the market, exactly what it did before that 2021 cycle where we did top out to make all-time highs. Now, Cardano founder here, Charles Hoskinson, who also helped Ethereum build out their network, he was almost like one of the core founders of Ethereum alongside Vitalik Buterin as well. Now, Charles Hoskinson here is saying this hard fork dwarfs Bitcoin. Now, I'm pretty sure most crypto tokens out there are a massive enhancement of Bitcoin because it is so slow and the transaction fees are sky high. However, I know Charles Hoskinson is going to be very biased towards his sort of project here with Cardano. However, what he is stating is this is a massive technological advancement. So just have a read of this here. So in a post on social media, Hoskinson reflected on the path he took working on Cardano and how the project has affected each person it has touched differently. He stated that with Chang, the recent implemented hard fork that introduced on-chain governance to the cryptocurrency, Cardano has reached one of the greatest technical achievements in human history. Really? Going to have to look into this in more depth. Hoskinson explained that the network was now a distributed system that runs in more than 100 countries, which has never shut down without central coordination, just seamlessly upgraded for millions of people who have never met each other to evolve into a decentralized nation complete with its own constitution. Now, this is massive news from ADA. Now, that to me has been going under the radar. However, let's take a look at how ADA is actually playing out. Now, disclosure, Cardano, along with XRP, was one of the first crypto tokens in the first portfolio that I actually curated back in the day when I was first getting and purchasing my tokens to, predominantly fill out my portfolio. So Cardano made me a hefty amount of money. It probably did. It probably made me better gains than XRP did back in that 2020 to 2021 cycle here. But I've not been on this sort of cycle, if you will. So this is all new TA here. Now, initially, when I do come onto a new chart, I like to start out and do a sort of bigger sort of macro, and then I slowly, gradually move in. Now, you can see here on the monthly. Now, weekly, for me, I feel the weekly charts capture the best of both worlds because you've got the chunky monthly, which it considers within the price action, yet you're also kind of close to the daily time frame as well, where there's a lot more noise, a lot more algorithms at stake. So here we are now. I've marked out this bottom here. This is arguably the bottom down here. However, I want to go back as far as possible on this exchange to account for as much data as possible. Hence why I have marked out the bottom here. Obviously, we've probably spiked through there and taken the liquidity. Now, this is an interesting sort of trend line for me acting as support. So you can see how price interacts down here. And you can see here as the two green lines converge to meet and to make that apex now. So for me, ADA could be a front runner because this is on the log chart. I've shown you guys many a times on the XRP. So XRP is still trailing behind. We're still in litigation ultimately because we've had that $125 million fine on the table now. It's still up to the SEC whether or not they want to accept that fine or they want to appeal. So we're still a while off the end. Now, if you was to go over and get the premium XRP plan. I will tell you the exact dates for XRP when that gets moving. However, in the interim, I believe ADA could really get going now. So it could be an interesting pick to actually reintroduce into my portfolio. So this is what I'm thinking now. I'm thinking Cardano could front run the market and make some extraordinary gains. Now, on top of this, I have also marked out these order blocks here. So these are the supply and demand areas where ADA will be traded heavily, with buyers and sellers both entering the market here. I've also done a secondary supply and demand zone here. You can see where I've marked out the top here, and then I've just dragged down the supply and demand box to the sort of second peak here. So there's going to be some hefty liquidity in these two areas. Now, Cardano, let's just take a look at the measurements where Cardano could potentially go from current price action. So this first and foremost, this first target, we're looking anywhere between 70 all the way up to, I would say, 110% increase. So that's almost like double your bag. You know, we have been looking at other small cap gems like Velo on the channel, which I believe are going to run up massively. However, Cardano in the interim, as I keep saying, is going to do some hefty gains in the shortfall. So here we are now. Second target to run up to all-time highs, where I believe we could potentially reach all-time highs before the end of this year. And then we could potentially, this looks as if we are going to make a cup and handle pattern, in my opinion. Now, if we was to get up to this second sort of supply and demand zone, we're talking anywhere from about 560% all the way up to about, I would say, 734%. So there you have it, guys. That is before we actually go into sort of price discovery. Now, you can see here, what I'm going to do is just, I like to claw on these lines to see exactly where we are. So look at that parallel channel now. Delete this TA just so it makes it clear for you guys. Look at that parallel channel. That marries up brilliantly. You can see there we get that slight rejection. We poke above, set an all-time high. We come back down and we're flirting with that sort of area of supply as well on that trend line. And then we go up into the order block to set an all-time high for ADA. And that would actually trigger a lot of buy orders, a lot of liquidity as mentioned. And this is where we actually rolled over into the bear market after that all-time high was set back there in September of 21. So this is where we are now, guys. Now, I could ultimately stretch this out here. So I would be expecting ADA to at least be getting up to this sort of all-time highs, this top order block here. But ultimately, I want to be challenging up here. So these are significant gains to be had with ADA if you are long-term holding. Now, look at these here. Let me just delete these supply and demand areas in the background so you can see these a little bit more clearly. Let's delete that out of the way. You're going to see the targets now for ADA going into this bull market. So I'd say somewhere around there. So I want to be getting out when this green trend line sort of intersects the Fibonacci levels. So you can see here we've had the blue line. However, that's behind the current data. So for me, I would be scratching the blue fib. So 1.618, you can forget that. We are going higher. We are going much higher for ADA. Potentially March at $7.42. I believe we can go past that. The reason being, I think March is too early for the bull market to end. Now, personally, I believe we could actually get up around here. So whether or not we're actually spiking up around September, October at the end of 2025, we're going to be looking at taking out that $10 for ADA. So that would be my sort of rough target without going into depth too much with ADA. Now we're currently trading at around 35-36 cents. Again, let's just take out the marks and we'll just run it up to $10 for argument's sake. We're looking at a 27x there for ADA. ADA is a very safe pick in my hands. There's plenty of liquidity as well, which is a pro. Unlike small cap gems, are very difficult to get in and out of. If I'm going to mention a coin, Velo, for example, very difficult to find liquidity. But these big coins like XRP and Cardano are perfect for that 27, 28x in my opinion. So anyway, guys, that's ADA. I'm going to take it off. I'm going to wrap up right now. You guys enjoy your weekend. I've been the Block Bull. Take it easy, guys. Block Bull over and out.